the talented Andy Keson. And Andy has been the Lakeshore Toastmasters Club 6186 since February of 2009. He has achieved his competent communicator and has served as secretary for 2009 to 2010. Recently sworn in as Vice President of Education, Andy is desperately working to avoid screw-ups that may result in harsh, violent discipline from newly elected President Rocky Nichols. Andy's speech tonight is called PhD, Piling It High and Deep, just like he did in his introduction here. It is from the manual Speaking to Inform, Project 3, the demonstration talk. Time is 5 to 7 minutes. Please welcome Andy Keson.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. Many of you know that I grew up on a farm out in the country. On this farm, we learned many very important lessons, big and small. One of the small lessons we learned is that real men carry our wallet in the back pocket, and our coins always go in the front pocket. Other important lessons we learned is baling hay. We mainly had a hay farm with 5 hay fields totaling about 30 acres on a farm that was about 120 acres large. Now we started at around 12 years old. My dad bought all this equipment because we decided to do something with these fields. We didn't have anybody to train us, but me and my twin brother figured out how to stack hay on the hay wagons. It was a very interesting process that had a lot of shouting and yelling along the way. As many of you that have ever been around a farm, this can be a difficult process because it's a balancing act to get as much hay on the wagon as tall and deep as you can and not have it fall off by the time it gets off the field. We had several times where the hay fell off and we had to work so hard in the hot summer sun to stack it back on and make sure that it didn't happen again. It's been some interesting challenges and I've developed some great ways to make sure that this doesn't happen. For some miraculous reason, my twin brother no longer helps us bale hay. It's fallen upon me, and we have a couple of neighbor kids that also can help fill in. My key to getting a successful load of hay that doesn't fall off entails building a pyramid shape on top of the load so that it's not a big square where the top corners can fall out. The key is to work towards the center of the wagon to keep the center of gravity towards the middle. It's also very important to keep in mind how tall the top of the barn doors are. And experience has taught me about 7 bales high is about it. And each bale is around 18 inches tall, so that's 9 or 10 feet tall. Luckily, I'm a tall person, so I can normally throw it up there, and sometimes I have to take a couple steps up some of the bales. That's can be a little treacherous as the whole unit is moving at once. Me, the wagon, and the load of hay. Sometimes they're moving in different directions, especially if Dad's having a bad day with the clutch on the tractor. It's always been a fun experience and very rewarding. When we were young, in high school, we used to make a little bit of money at it. We used to get paid by the bale, a 10-cent coin every bale we got. Nowadays, I do it for a good home-cooked meal after we're finished. All of our hay goes for horses. We don't have animals on our farm except for the dog as a pet. We have several horse people around that buy the hay. Sometimes we store it in the barn. Sometimes we unload it right off the wagon onto their trailers and trucks so they can take it away. It's been a very interesting experience, and with my engineering background, I've learned a lot of things through the years that apply in all kinds of different areas of life and work. There's nothing like working with your hands, especially when you're allergic to hay. My allergy doctor has known about this for a long time, and my lower arms always break out into some pretty big hives after I get done baling hay. Of course, anybody that's been around hay baling knows that you have to wear pants and shoes and good shirt that keeps the dust and pieces of hay out. A good breeze always helps too to keep the dust off of me as the person on the wagon. And a good sunny day ahead of baling the hay always helps make sure it's dry and weighs less than it would if it's still wet. Normally the bales ideally weigh about 60 pounds. That's always a good weight to throw them up there because they have enough momentum to go about as far as you need. If they're too light, sometimes they have a tendency to fall apart or fall off the load and bounce on the ground. A couple of times we've had some close calls, and most of the close calls have resulted from too many people being on the wagon. Especially when we were in high school, it used to be an attraction for all the neighborhood kids to come over and ride around with us on the wagon. And as the load gets big, there's no room on the wagons. The kids always go up on top of the load. One very memorable experience, my dad turned the wagon on the side of a hill, and the whole thing went over, including most of the load. I was standing at the front of the wagon taking the bales off the baler. And I can remember in slow motion watching my brother and his friend fall to the ground very quickly compared to the load of hay. And as they hit the ground, they looked up to see all these bales of hay raining down on top of them. I don't think anything got broken, people or bales of hay, but it was a pretty exciting afternoon and a lot of work to put it all back on the trailer afterwards. These experiences have taught me a whole lot, and we keep baling hay. This last Sunday, we had to do some again this year, and I've got a long ways to go. It's kind of a late haying season for anybody that knows much about farming. We had a very wet June for drying days, so the whole thing is behind schedule this year. But baling hay has always been a big part of my life for the last dozen plus years, and it's been a lot of hard work and takes a lot of patience and challenge to have an accomplished day, and it's been a very rewarding experience. Mr. Toastmaster?